I'm gonna tell you, bro. It'll be.
All right, what's going on, Solomon? Let's
Bro,
get it off your chest. Get it off your chest.
I don't want to say too much, bro.
All right.
I don't want to rub it in. Yo, we got to knock on a lot of wood. You know what I'm saying? Just to, get the good vibes going, bro.
Yeah.
But I told you last week, Brandon. I mean, Brandon, you just came to me at the end of last.
Close ass game.
It was a close ass game, but what you did mention was it was going to be a blowout by Green Bay. That's what.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that.
You didn't say it was going to be a blowout?
I listened to it, and I said, let's see how good your defense is against Aaron Rodgers. And I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I think the Packers are going to win. I re-listened to it because I was like, was I really talking shit for Solomon to be calling me just like,
I get that.
I told you. I can't believe you.
That's hilarious.
This is what I was saying.
No, I was drunk. I do apologize. I did not know how to control my emotions in that moment. But what I will say is, bro, the Niners defense showed up and showed out. Man, a top 5 quarterback, supposedly. I mean, well, they'll rediscuss after, but a supposedly top 5 quarterback all time came in to his hometown in the snow and essentially looked like an away quarterback who was potentially a rookie. You know what I'm saying? When we look at Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Garoppolo's stats side by side, it's not that crazily different.
Yeah, it's
like it's kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? And from what I heard,
on Aaron Rodgers, you said?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy. Aaron Rodgers put up 220, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Jimmy Garoppolo put up 140, 0 tugs, 1 pick. You know what I'm saying? That's not supposed to happen. The Niners are different. They are proving themselves. Man, it's like what I said initially last week was what I was worried about was the corners and the safeties. And what was so shocking to me was that, even though Devontae did cook him up, I will have to admit that, bro, the line got there, often and frequently. The man, Aaron Rodgers, could not breathe. It was dope. It was amazing. And it was just even though Jimmy Garoppolo could not move the ball, the Green Bay defense actually was solid too. I will give them their props. They were locking him down. They were making Jimmy Garoppolo look like he should not be playing in the NFL. I mean, he looks like that like a third of the weeks.
You just say he's a top 5 quarterback.
No, Aaron Rodgers is.
But you just say Jimmy Garoppolo was the same as Aaron Rodgers.
No. I'm saying they looked similar. That's the crazy part.
Aaron Rodgers looked bad.
A top 5 quarterback looked similar to Jimmy Garoppolo in this game, and Jimmy Garoppolo, in my opinion, looks like he should not be in the NFL for the third of the game.
I don't think either of them are top 5 compared to what I saw from.
I just want to say I'm not even calling Jimmy Garoppolo nowhere close to top 5. I need to just put that out there. I'm just saying a potentially all-time top 5 quarterback looked like Jimmy Garoppolo in this one playoff game. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, after that Bills and Chiefs game and seeing what I was like, God.
Yeah, I
was like,
bro, yeah. Damn. Regardless, bro, I'm hyped. Bro, we get to play the team we have already beaten twice.
Yeah, divisional, right,
bro.
Yeah. That's sweet. That's very sweet.
We are going to make Matt Stafford look like the Matt Stafford that played essentially from the beginning of the second half until about 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Are you guys doubling Cooper Kupp? Because that dude is kind of crazy.
The thing is, we're not going to be able to. Our secondary is actually too trash to be able to effectively double Cooper Kupp. We're going to be spread out. We're going to be on Odell. We're going to be on Van Jefferson, and we're going to be on Higbee as well. Our whole hope, because what I remember, Cam Akers' crucial fumble, end of the game. He was the reason why. A lack of confidence in Cam Akers is going to put the ball in Matt Stafford's hands. I want the ball in Matt Stafford's hands. If you have seen his past 6 weeks of football.
I saw the last one. He won the game.
He had 2 nice passes.
Nice ass passes.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice passes, but then Cooper Kupp was getting wide open.
The dude
he was
fell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That
first catch, disgusting. Yeah. It was disgusting. But what I will say is just as the overall trend, Matt Stafford has not done that high, in the back half of the season. And I'm excited for that. That's all. I'm excited for it. If Matt Stafford has to win the game for the Rams, they will not win. I will swear by that. They are going to have to win with their defense and their running game. If they do that, they'll win. If they are going to throw again, and like our secondary is going to be trash, like they're going to cook us. That's not. We've already had this. We've already done it with the Cowboys. We've already done it with the Packers. It's okay if our corners get cooked from time to time. Our D line will get there, and when we get there, we don't shake that quarterback's confidence like no other. And so that's literally the game plan. That's what I see it as. It's Sunday at 3:30. I hope to be here next week looking this lit. And yeah, bro, I'm hyped. I'm super fucking hyped.
It's looking good for y'all. We'll see what happens though. The AFC, they got some crazy quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
They got some wild quarterbacks in the AFC.
Patrick Mahomes is literally Madden on like the sliders on rookie. You know what I'm saying? That's not,
bro. I mean,
even that. I mean,
like Josh Allen was looking just as crazy.
Just as crazy.
He's looking just.
Shout outs, props to him.
Yeah.
I've never seen a game where two quarterbacks pulled off a comeback. You know what I'm saying? Like truly, where you felt like there is no way this quarterback is supposed to win, and then he does it, and then Patty Mahomes is like 13 seconds, 2 timeouts,
3 timeouts. They had all timeouts.
3 timeouts.
They had all the timeouts. Yeah.
But still, it's not normal.
It wasn't normal, but like shit, man. He literally that first drive of the game, he literally ran the ball up the field by himself.
By himself. It's like it's the one man band.
He literally Lamar Jackson the first drive of the game. I was like, this dude's man. Yeah.
He's definitely different.
Do like an underhand underneath somebody's arm. I was like, man, this guy.
Future for sure.
Yeah, man. Oh, for sure. If he makes it to the Super Bowl again, yeah. Like, come on, shit the hell.
Definitely. It'll be exciting to see, bro. I'm excited for the games on Sunday. I honestly don't think they'll be as lit as like last week. Just because of how good they were. Like we're just spoiled as football fans. We had 3 game-winning field goal kicks, and a 4th one was used to send into OT in the craziest game of them all. So it was just like, I don't know how it can get better than this. I'm just happy to be a football fan.
Speaking of the future, I'm gonna switch sports. Shout out Jonathan Kuminga. That nigga's nice.
Great game. Oh, what a great game last night. That
nigga's super nice.
Future's bright, for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the podcast. This is the Mostly Bullshit podcast.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Solomon.
And this is the weekly get together with 3 former college roommates. Where we talk about.
Shout out to PJ, bro.
Oh, shout out to PJ, yeah, for sure. We might have to get him on the podcast. I'm sure you might. Yeah, that'd be a good special guest to reminisce about crazy shit that we.
I think we have like the one story too. Like we're all 4 of us were in one place at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we have plenty of those stories.
We have plenty of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll reach out to him and see what he's doing. And then we just get together, we talk about politics, sports, obviously, technology, life, everything, all the above, but mostly we're just bullshitting. This is not financial advice. This is not medical advice. Read the disclaimer at the bottom of the video.
Read the title of the podcast.
If you want real information.
Our title of the podcast is our first disclaimer.
Right. You can never sue us because of what we named this podcast. All right. So every week we go in order based on name. Mike starts us off with the topic. Mike, what you got for us this week?
Okay. So I saw some news or heard some news earlier this week about some tensions growing at the Russia-Ukrainian border. Right now, the United States is in support of the Ukraine, supplying them with weapons, and we have some troops stationed there as well. But from what I'm reading, tensions are rising as like tens of thousands of Russian soldiers are kind of like building up like near the border. But that wasn't necessarily my topic. It was just kind of to intro it into like the United States and go ahead.
I was about to say, I heard also that Russia, like some of their citizens are like joining up like militias and they're like invading already.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I
for
saw
real?
like
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm reading something like there's already been like an altercation where like a grenade was thrown or something. I don't know if this is real, but
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, like it's it could turn into war soon if tensions don't die down.
Yeah.
What kind of war is that though? Like obviously Ukraine can't really defend themselves
It
and
would be
Russia
I would say it would be kind of like a proxy war, essentially.
because
It would be
but like
Russia.
Western powers are supporting
Yeah,
Ukraine, so
Western
like it
powers.
would be more like a war between the Western powers and like
Russia.
Russia.
right. But I just don't know if like we're gonna nuke people because of what's
No, we're
going
not.
on.
We're not.
I
We're
think it's
just
just
No,
gonna
like
be like economic issues.
what you do is you just literally, from the Western ally standpoint, is you just provide them better technology than the Russians have currently. And like
Right.
with the world, like the world has better technology than Russia. So
Well, Russia's ganged up with China.
yes, yeah, they do. They are. But it's still, Russia still has to represent itself. They still have the technology from China for sure. But
Yeah.
it's just like Ukraine, like the whole part of Ukraine being able to impose their will is they would have like, higher better technology, kind of better men, to be able to kind of impose their will essentially and break some, I don't know, global trust laws about, invading on territories. I don't know exactly what the true laws as that kind of speak to like the diplomatic kind of policies as it relates to that.
I also don't know like what the fuck does Russia want with Ukraine? Like
I
what
think
is
they used to be
Yeah,
they
it
used
used
to
to
be
be
a
part of
part
the
of it, right?
USSR.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they used to own Ukraine. So they're
So
like
they just want their land back.
yeah, like I think they're like probably ethnically the same people. They just
I don't think so. I don't think they are, because I think this what it was USSR was.
they're okay. Well, I won't get into that. Continue.
No, I mean,
they're all white people.
Right. I was like, what? I'm like, they're
in
not.
terms of like, okay, maybe culturally, like culturally they have different backgrounds and they have different origins. Like what I'm saying is like the USSR and all of these people were grouped together just because like of World War II and the places that they had to defend between, Russia and East Berlin. And so like all of these places were like, brought together, like, and they were, it was just like the rest of World War II after the fact, people started just drawing lines. Um, and
Well,
so
the
Soviets just
Soviets
one, it was one big blob. It was just one.
well, didn't it fall apart like in the 80s? And then that's
Yeah,
how
in the
like
80s,
yeah.
yes. But it's still changed. It changed to like, it's not Yugoslavia, it's like the Czech Republic and
Right.
like Slovakia and Slovenia. Like it's a collection of countries now. There's like redrawn lines and they're fractured. They're not necessarily all like, they did it based off of what people said in the moment as they were breaking it up. Like, it's not always clean.
Right.
And so like there's
And I'm sure that land is valuable compared to like the shit that they got in Russia for the most part. Like most of that
there's
land is
probably
like
more fertile
inhospitable.
lands. There probably are more fertile lands the more
Yeah.
east, southern, like the more west and the more south you go, closer
Yeah.
to the equator, there's definitely probably more fertile lands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most of Russia, you can't even live there.
yeah, they also like border the Black Sea.
Mhm.
Partly the southern Ukraine does.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's like some valuable resources that they can get from there. But
Or trade, shit
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
trade, yeah. Good point. But yeah, like I kind of didn't want to like get into the politics of that area and that's happening, but more so like kind of discuss like the United States and how much we spend on our military. Because personally, I kind of don't have too much of a problem with how much the US spends on our military. I kind of prefer that we have, that we be the best at that, like just in case shit really does go down. To know that we're well defended and we have the best technology to ensure the safety of our citizens. So I don't know how you guys kind of feel about that.
I mean, I personally think we're in a position where we have to now be the like biggest and best to protect ourselves at home. We've, I think we went on like we've done actions like internationally that have essentially affected like global communities like significantly.
Not more than Britain though.
No, absolutely not more than Britain. No, definitely not more than Britain. But we're just kind of seen as like the current version of Britain. Like that's what like
we're an extension. We're the same. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, and it's just like we've just done the more modern version and the more manipulative version. Like Britain came through with like economic like mercenaries routes, and provided like certain religions here and there through like I don't even know if missionaries were actually provided through the UK colonial route. I'm not actually too familiar with that, but I know with the US they were more about kind of
missionaries. That's what the New World did. That's what they sent the Quakers, the Pilgrims.
Okay, was that? But they were the British. Like that was part of the British colonial like strategy.
The Mayflower is people they sent. I don't know if that's the British strategy.
Not just for the US though. Like the UK is like essentially colonized a third of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of their strategy, in terms of their strategy worldwide, was Christianity like a full force, or was it more business oriented?
I think it was more business
Quakers
oriented.
were trying to like leave religious
right. They're being persecuted. Correct.
Yeah. Like, so that's why they came to the United States.
So,
correct.
But my point, the whole point is like, I think the reason why the US does need to have this kind of protection is because we've essentially attempted to impose our will, like in terms of an imperialistic manner over like the 1900s. And I would say still currently through some proxy wars, which puts us in a position where we kind of have to defend ourselves. Just because if we do not, we've already become this like idea of like we've become the idea of what's wrong, like in the West for like a certain amount of extremist groups. So I do believe like we do need the protection. Is it justified in terms of like the $750 billion price tag on a yearly basis? I mean, I feel like that can be revisited. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the part of like the whole industrial complex that kind of isn't too well known amongst kind of like the public. Like, why do we need to have like the newest F1 fighter jet that's like created in 2022 as part of the budget?
Man, I think we got some crazy shit on deck that the world doesn't even know about. Like,
I know, and it's just like
Area 51. Like,
I'm like the thing is, it's like it's powerful, but it's just like, is this like the sustainable route to go? Like down like
I don't give a fuck about any of this shit because they said that aliens are real and that they got shit that we don't even know. We can talk about as many weapons as we want, but if they're saying that aliens are real, then everybody's fucked.
Like, have you guys played Gears of War?
Nah.
Okay, well, like in Gears of War, there's this gun called the Hammer of Dawn, and essentially you aim it at a point and a giant laser beam just drops from the sky and just fucks up everything in its path. I bet we got some shit like that. Like we got a satellite that can just point itself at the earth and just shoot a beam down that can fuck shit up. Like,
probably. I heard it's like a rail gun or something. I heard they have those on like nuclear warships.
Yeah. That's not a, I don't know if that'd be considered a rail gun, but yeah, it's some crazy shit. But yeah, I mean, 750 billion. Like,
well, let me get the number. I kind of threw one out there. I knew it was over 700 billion. I just don't know exactly.
Yeah, like it's like things like, can we like bring that budget in? Like we can still afford to, buy all the crazy shit and research all the crazy shit we want. But maybe, take, 50 billion and put it towards something more useful, like something to, actually benefit the citizens.
So it says the defense budget is 750 billion and the department. Oh, okay. So this is like, I think this is where this is the reason why it's a little iffy. So the defense budget is 750 billion, but the Department of the Defense's discretionary budget, like their discretionary budget is $705 billion.
So they have like
only it says like there's a mandatory
1.4 trillion, Mike. 1.454 trillion.
Yeah, that might be a little much, but I mean, like I said, I think
sorry, what I meant to say,
like if we were in war, 1.4 trillion.
What I meant to say is I believe it's 705 out of the 753 is discretionary.
Oh, they can do whatever they want with.
Yes, that's the point I wanted to say. Of the $750 billion that is allocated to the defense, about 705 billion is discretionary, which means they can use it essentially for elective purposes, like or what they see fit.
Right. Like we don't care what you vote on. We're doing what we want to do.
Like you can't, essentially, if you purchase like the newest technology, you can't write it up in a plan the year before saying we're gonna buy the newest technology. We'll just say this is discretionary. We will give it to you. Here's the blank check, and go car shopping essentially.
Yeah, whatever Boeing and Raytheon, whatever they're developing, we want it.
It's what those contracts are, like essentially what they have ready for offer in terms of like the next like generation of fucking killing machines and shit. Yeah.
All I know, bro, is that if there are really aliens that have really disarmed nuclear bombs or like nuclear facilities, like the government has come out and said has happened, then I'm not really worried about any of that shit.
Yeah, like we could be invaded at any time and we just have to accept our fate.
I don't think we'd be invaded. I just think like the aliens would be like, look at these niggas trying to kill themselves.
Yeah, like that's the other that's the thing about like higher life forms. Like they're probably better than having to go to war over silly shit. Like,
right, they're like, these niggas are gonna kill themselves. Let's just go. We're gonna have to disarm another nuclear facility. Damn it.
Hilarious. It sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
It's some Rick and Morty shit.
Or it gives like more prudence to us being in a simulation.
Oh man, did you guys watch the last episode of Rick and Morty? That shit was so trippy.
I've seen all of them.
I've seen all of them too, but I just
the evil Rick one.
Oh, evil Rick. You mean Evil Morty?
Evil Morty. I'm sorry, Evil Morty.
Yeah, I remember Evil Morty for sure.
Yeah,
but he came back.
Yeah, in the last episode.
Oh my god,
that was trippy.
That was super trippy. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to revisit that episode, but
yeah, man. Whoever make the guys that make that show or those shows are pretty crazy.
I would have to assume drugs, like the hardcore ones.
Like the ones that kids don't try.
Don't try it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like
the
licking the DMT frog or some shit.
Yeah.
No, bro, like shooting up your foot type shit.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we do not encourage the use of recreational substances up your
right.
That's hilarious. For sure. All right.
John, that's it. That's all I got.
For sure.
Yeah, man. I hope the aliens save us all. That's all I gotta say about that.
Sorry, so they're our only hope.
They really are our only hope at this point.
Let's hope we don't aim a bazooka at them when they pull up.
They'll be like, "What is that? Is that a toy? Is that a toy?
Is that a toy?"
They'll just like open a portal and that shit'll go somewhere.
Right, it'll go somewhere else. It'll like go through the portal. It'll be like some like Doctor Strange like shit. It'll like come back.
They'll be like transparent. It'll just go through for some shit. Like,
they'll pull some straight Doctor Strange shit on us, bro. Like I don't know.
That's actually hilarious.
All right. Let's move to the next topic. I was going to talk about Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. He's been pushing a bill in his state to basically ban critical race theory. I believe critical race theory is just understanding how race or how the conflict of races in America has affected the socioeconomic status of certain groups, the cultural status of certain groups. So it's just, getting into like, okay, these things happen and they still have impact, even today. I mean, the most obvious one is just like the, wealth gap, and just how like, wealth has a huge disparity between white people and people of other groups within this country. I mean, you can name anybody, they don't have as much money as white people do. So being able to not talk about those things, having like generations of kids coming up that maybe are willfully ignorant to those things, or allowed to be willfully ignorant to those things. How do you feel like what are the implications of that? Like, how do you feel that's gonna affect those kids, affect that state? And what's worrisome is that, if Florida does it, then you might see somebody like West Virginia do the same thing, North Dakota do the same thing, where it's like Wyoming do the same thing, Iowa, where it's just like, there's so many white people here, like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It's like there are like trying to almost like erase a piece of history, or pieces of history that make America look bad as a country.
Well, I think they've been
And
doing that, Mike.
well,
Because there's so much shit that we're finding out now about American history through the internet that we've never understood, we never were aware of.
Yeah, but
growing
like,
up.
but the topic of critical race theory is trying to address that. And so like now they're trying to just make sure that, we don't talk about these things. And not only does it affect white Americans, it affects literally all races, kids of all races growing up, not understanding the implications of who they are and like how they got to be where they are in their life. It's really sad to have to, when your education system isn't going to kind of teach you those kind of things, because it might start to indoctrinate people of color into the white philosophy, and we might get more people like Candace Owens and more people like fucking, I don't know who else is Uncle Tom. People like them, like it might produce
Larry Elder.
Yeah, Larry Elders. Like it's going to produce more Black people or people of color that think like them in the world. So it just it's a sad thing that they're trying to push here.
Let's literally play devil's advocate. Do you guys feel that they have a point where it's like some people go too far with just getting on white people's heads, like getting on maybe younger white people's heads about shit that happened recently?
Well, so yeah, like it seems like it's a reaction to like happening in like social media, like a lot of stuff. It doesn't actually seem like this type of stuff is like truly stemmed from like teachers teaching children in an education setting. You know what I'm saying? I don't actually think it's stemming from that. It seems like it's like more like an emotional thing that's driving this. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's 2020 that is driving this. Like it feels like after we had the marches for George Floyd, people were like, there was definitely talks of removing like critical race theory from schools before that, but I just heard a lot of talk after that as it relates. Like it felt like, you know how like somebody like points a finger at you and you immediately become defensive. Like this is what I just felt like what happened.
And
there's Karens all over the place and shit like that.
I think also like the problem is like people aren't really informed as to what critical race theory really is, because like I've seen people like white people in interviews where like the guy's like, do you support critical race theory? And they're like, no, hell no. And then he asks, what is critical race theory? And they're like, oh, well, I don't really know the specifics of it. And they pretty much don't really know what it is. And so they just think like they're listening to, I don't know, fucking Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson, who are telling them like, oh, it's a race, it's a war against white people.
It is.
Like, and like, so they're not truly informed as to what it is. And that's another big problem as to why there's so much resistance to it.
What I was gonna just say on top of that is I literally think it's just gonna what the like to your initial question, Brandon, what's the impact of this all? I think the impact of this all is essentially you just get more bubble learning. Like when we teach children now, it's not going to be like a centralized place. Like the thing is, it's never been a centralized place of learning. We've always had states that have fallen behind in terms of education, just based on like similar like standards of just like we do not like there's like some governors in some states that do not focus on education, and some of these states do not prioritize education and like the sound based education as like an investment in the children and the future of their state. Like it's not like there are some states that continuously test at the bottom, and it's just like those states will likely be the ones like those who don't actually value education. I literally just think it's just pulling away from like the value of education. Like this is truly an education topic. Like this is nothing more than an education topic. This is our history. Like a critical race theory as it relates as it's taught in the classroom. Obviously the actual subject itself is bigger than that. But the actual topic at hand is a topic being taught in school, just based on.
And I think that's the issue, is that we live in a very uneducated, just ignorant ass country. So that when I think people, like you're saying, you get pointed the finger at you point the finger at somebody, they get defensive because they're like, what the hell did I do? Like, I didn't do anything to anybody really.
Like I was a slave owner, right?
Like I didn't do, like, I don't go around calling Black people the N-word. I don't, I don't say
your
that
great grandfather did.
Right. Your great grandfather bombed, like might have killed some Black people, might have lynched some Black people, so like, I mean, like, so there's that. Like, we should definitely be educated on those things. But I think like because we're so ignorant, when you use critical race theory, just the connotation of that title is just it's just triggering.
It already, like, the thing is, the words like that's the issue like with the media today, and like little like trigger words.
Right.
Like, if you say like vaccine, if you say COVID, if you say mask, if you say like critical race theory, like no matter which way you start a conversation, every conversation will be coming from a place of I've heard of this from here, here, and here. It's never going to come from a place of understanding. It's always going to be coming from a place of like, this is all I know about it.
Right.
I have not validated my information in terms of like the resources that I've gone to. This is all I know.
Did Black people come up with the term critical race theory?
Likely not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
just like some educator that just said, like, what's the best way to like?
Let's compartmentalize this big ass thing into something really small.
Into 3 words.
How would you describe? Put it on a newspaper and sell it.
Yeah, it's like almost as if like maybe it just needs like a rebrand.
I don't even know, like a rebrand or just like an honest conversation rather than trying to. It seems like a money like tactic. Like it seems like let's put like it seems like a movie title or something, or a book title. Like they're trying to like sell something.
Well, it's like it's this section of the history book. Like that's what they have to sell it as.
Yeah. So it's like if we had more in-depth conversations about these things and just understood that, like, because me personally, I understand what white people are doing and why they do it, like, and why they're like defensive and why they don't want to hear about the bad things that have happened in their history. Like most races don't want to hear about the bad shit that's happened in their history. Because like I'm more personally as a Black man worried about coons than I am worried about racist white people.
Yeah, for real.
I just expect racist white people. The coons come out of left field. So I don't know. So I feel like we and that's a good point, Michael. We gotta at least make sure that we're educating our own so that we don't nurture Candace Owens and Larry Elders and what's that one guy's name? He used to run that sports show.
Oh,
that guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
about.
Exactly
who you're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I forgot though. I'm glad they kind of removed him from like, you know.
Yeah. But like people like that. So like if we can address people like that first and make sure that we're educating them in some way or capacity outside of whatever the government allows for or dictates, I think that's more impactful. Just forever, whatever your culture is, whoever you identify with, just making sure that people around you are well informed.
Yeah. That's really all you can do. It's just like make sure people value education around you.
Right, exactly.
That's really it. It's like if they do not, they don't have a place to learn. And if they don't have a place to learn,
right? Because we're not getting rid of ignorant. There's no way that we're gonna get rid of ignorant people. There's no way we're gonna get rid of prejudiced people. No way we're gonna get rid of insecure people.
Yeah, for sure.
So you really just gotta worry about who you surround yourself with and what you can control.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel bad though. Feel bad for the state of Florida, but yeah, I don't really fuck with Florida like that, to be honest with you.
Stay safe. Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah, man. Florida man.
Google Florida man right now.
Right. All right. Continuing on the Trump train, let's go to Solomon's topic.
So, wait, I might still rock with the Kobe topic this week.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We're hopping off the Trump train.
We're hopping off the Trump train.
Last stop.
Yeah.
Florida.
You're not going full Trump today. No, I was just gonna quickly take the time, bro. Today is January 26th, 2022.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, 2 years ago on this day, it was a really devastating day for all of us. And honestly, basketball fans worldwide, not even basketball fans worldwide, literally humans everywhere. Anybody who was inspired by hard work and to change their lives for the better were inspired by this man. It's the man behind my head. It was Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi. It's been 2 years, and all I wanted to just say is I don't want to make this like too down. I just kind of want to ask you guys favorite Kobe memory. Who's your favorite Kobe influenced player that you've watched today? And in your eyes, what is his impact on the game? So it's those three questions. What was your favorite Kobe moment? What was your favorite, like, I don't want to say if Kobe inspired another player. You can even say how Kobe inspired you. You know what I'm saying? And then the third question would be, how do you think Kobe has inspired the game in general? So I don't know who wants to start, but.
Cool. So the first question was how
favorite Kobe game. Favorite Kobe moment.
Favorite Kobe
moment. Man, does it have to be a game? Or
doesn't have to be a game. It can be a moment, bro. It can be a moment. It can definitely be a moment.
Man, like there's so many, but
come on, yeah. Just something that spoke out to you personally.
Oh my god, you're soft.
Yeah,
that's too fucking good, dude. That's way too good, man.
Yeah, or just like the stories that you would hear about Kobe just coming out of the locker room, like him taking away the Laker team. He took away all their Kobes and said that they didn't deserve them.
Fucking lit.
It was lit like that.
Or when Nick Young tried to get him to sign his shoes at the last game, some Adidas. He said, "What the fuck is this?
I can't sign that. This ain't 1998." That is hilarious.
But yeah, even just like his last game, just watching that was just like so surreal because like he was playing like in the beginning like he wasn't playing that well, and then he just started going off. Ended with 60 points. That was just like one hell of a way to end your career.
Absolutely. And he kicked Utah out of the playoffs. It was a playoff implicated game for Utah at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, just moments like that where you get exposed to Kobe, like what his like mentality was, just like how he felt about the game, what he expected of his teammates. Like, it was a unorthodox kind of style of leadership, you know, like obviously like LeBron has his form of leadership, but Kobe's was, I'm just going to outwork everybody. And, you know, you either come out here and work with me, or, you know, I don't fuck with you kind of thing. Or, like, so like that type of mentality is definitely something that you can just apply to anything in life. And that's why, you know, his reach extends so far outside of the game of basketball. You know, for me, just inspiration to be just dedicated to trying to just be the best at what you do. You know, you can't teach that. It's something you gotta like really just have in you.
I like that. That's dope.
Respect to Kobe. Like, first and foremost, I do fuck with his work ethic. I won't say he pioneered that, because Jordan was on that ×2, I think. I want to say times 10, but ×2.
Yeah, sure.
Because I've never heard of Kobe like fighting people in practice.
Yeah.
He might have slapped around a rookie or two.
Maybe we never know.
I mean it was just a different time, but like, you know, he get into altercations at practice. I've heard of him doing it.
No, I've seen him call people crazy, like just talk crazy to people.
Yeah.
Like on video. Favorite Kobe moments. There's a lot for me, honestly, man.
Yeah, dude, Kobe's
my favorite player, man.
Yeah. Just whatever comes to heart.
Just because not because of his work ethic, because of his fearlessness, his courage to shoulder that responsibility, to take the blame when things went wrong. You know, to not be afraid to take the shot when he needed to take the shot. Like, I like watching Kobe just take over games, man. Just be like, this is like, I'm not passing. Like, it's like, if you don't want the ball, I'm not passing it to you, man. You know what I'm saying? So like he's destroyed so many teams. I remember that one game we watched Mike when he like fucked up the Raptors. He like hit 3 straight threes at the end of the game.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely one of my favorite. I was gonna put that game in there. Is my favorite, one of my favorite moments.
That shit was crazy. I've seen him go back and forth with Clay, go back and forth with like Gilbert Arenas, with LeBron, at T-Mac. I mean, some of my favorite though is when he like straight up dogged LeBron at like the USA scrimmage in like 2008.
Yeah, it was Kobe's team versus Bron's team.
Yeah, it was Kobe's team versus Bron's team. Y'all should watch that tape because they were actually hooping. That wasn't like a scrimmage. They were actually they were really playing that.
It was the Magic. Wasn't it like the Magic Jordan?
Yeah, it was like a Magic Jordan kind of game. Yep. Yeah. That shit is legendary to me. What else did he do that was just like wow? I don't know, but my favorite player right now that Kobe inspired, I guess it would be Kyrie. But Kyrie is not really playing right now, unfortunately.
He's not. I thought he.
No, he's playing. He's only playing half the games.
No, he's back, right?
No.
He's not playing them home games?
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
Damn.
It's just it's bad. It's a bad PR look probably for them right now for him to do it so soon. But in the playoffs, I think he's gonna play in home games. But I guess other than Kyrie, Jonathan Kuminga.
Love that.
That was one of the dopest things when he was doing his they were doing like the media day. He was like, "Who's your favorite player?" He said, "Kobe." I said, "We got one." Now one of these weird ass little kids be like, "LeBron." Like this nigga's still
players
playing.
Can say that though. I literally ran an
nigga,
entire
bro. Like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying LeBron? You gotta play against him. What the hell are you talking about?
Some of them kids say Steph too, bro.
I don't understand that either. I really don't understand that because Steph has been trash recently. I'm like, how could you want to play like him right now?
They've definitely been saying it at the beginning of the season.
How could you
wasn't saying it right now.
Yeah, and then what Kobe inspired me the most, like I said, courage, fearlessness, but also his understanding of storytelling, the power of storytelling, the power of creating his own narrative, so that he sort of controlled how people saw him and what his potential was, just based on how he, just portrayed his life and retold the stories about his life, like the documentaries that he's made, like Muse, he won the Oscar for. That one he did with Spike Lee, Kobe Doing Work. That shit's crazy. If you guys watch that shit, it's an entire game. It's like the Lakers against the Spurs, and then or when he does, like when he was doing Detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he just broke down the game like so crazy. It was just like those are his ideas, and it's just like he was such a mastermind. How he's making kids books for like sports kids books, for athletes, just going through, just the trials and tribulations of trying to be a top athlete, and the mental stress that you go through, and the physical stress that you go through, trying to push yourself. Yeah, he was dope, and he'll for sure be missed, man. He's like Michael Jackson. He like up there.
Yeah.
In terms of like influence, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was definitely like,
he's like Jesus.
Literally,
Yeah.
he's
like
he's another person. Like he's bigger than sports. He's bigger than sports for sure.
Right. And I feel like that's what makes him different from Michael Jordan, is that he was so willing to tell his story and be open and tell people how he became successful.
Absolutely.
And
he was just willing to be bigger than the sport.
Right, exactly.
MJ at every turn elected not to be bigger.
Right. He's just like, I'm just trying to make money.
He wanted to be basketball. That's it.
Right. He's like, MJ is just trying to make money. Kobe was trying to change people's lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I love that. I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna have to share a couple of mine, because those were fantastic answers. What's it called for me? I remember personally Kobe versus Dwayne Wade on Christmas Day when he hit that one-footed off the backboard buzzer beater.
I was thinking of that.
wonderful shot. Definitely, the Phoenix game winner. There was like a Warriors game winner. I just like his game winners were very cool to watch. Just watching those compilations was tight as fuck. So I enjoyed the game winners. I would say the players that he inspired that I appreciated, I think the most was I think DeMar DeRozan was more of like tried to copycat, and I appreciated that a little bit. It was just like the footwork, you see it in the footwork, you see it in the mid-range. It was kind of like a very true kind of testament to Kobe's game.
I have a question. Who is the best Kobe copycat in the league right now?
The best Kobe copycat?
Yeah, in terms of like play style.
I mean,
is it DeRozan right now? Because DeRozan's crazy.
He's crazy, but I might give it to Devin Booker.
Yeah, I was thinking Devin Booker.
Oh my god, I hate when people say that. I really
Devin Booker. Oh, you don't like Devin Booker?
No. I don't not like Devin Booker. I think comparing him to Kobe is crazy, because Kobe was an amazing defender.
Yeah.
Devin Booker doesn't really play the post either.
No, he does not play back to the basket at all. He's like backing up. He backs up to the
But at that stage,
goes downhill as fast as he can.
Yeah,
but at that stage in Kobe's career, was he really posting up when he was 22? I feel like Kobe didn't really start.
He was because that's just because that's how the game was played then. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, like Devin Booker and Jason Tatum kind of show you what that two wing is supposed to do. It's just more of the style of play these days.
Yeah, I'd also say, I'd probably say DeMar DeRozan then too, just because the athleticism too, like DeMar had that athleticism early in his career, just like Kobe.
But and then the third player I did want to bring up in terms of inspiration was Giannis, because Giannis definitely spoke to it a lot, as growing up, because he was definitely like his dude when he was growing up in Greece, because he had the European Italian roots. With Pops because Pops was playing in Italy, right?
Who?
Kobe's dad, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Jelly
yeah,
bean.
so Giannis as well, because I actually right before this I finally finished the Giannis book, and I would recommend it to everyone. It is a really good story, and it actually kind of goes into the reason of like the inspiration that Kobe has brought into my life. It's more of the because like the work ethic is kind of what's always spoke about when it comes to Kobe, him working harder than everybody else on the floor. But when the way he looked at it, essentially, he looked at it as an art form. He looked at work ethic as an art form, and essentially, it was kind of like the MO that if you are doing something that you love, you will never have to kind of like work a day in your life. You can just be an artist who perfects their craft. So every day is, just as it is. And so it because I also read the little Kobe book like that. Let me see if I know where it is. Give me a second. Oh, found it. The Mamba Mentality book. The Mamba Mentality book. And so like the one part I didn't like really kind of factor in was essentially like Phil Jackson's like meditative influence on Kobe. Because for those who don't know, like Phil Jackson was like a 1969 like Woodstock like hippie. And so it was like for Kobe to be balanced like with that hardcore grind mentality, to be balanced with like the Zen, because he's very big on that, like the meditation and the Zen of it all. So kind of keeping a balance, keeping meditation, so you can be as like it's like a killer focus. Like he uses meditation to provide killer focus, to establish a work ethic that really has not been seen by too many people on this earth. So for that, I do appreciate you, Kobe. You will be truly missed, but your impact definitely still lives on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like that, man. I like how you brought up Giannis, man, because now I think about it, he is the one player that probably really embodies the Kobe mentality. Not play style, obviously.
Yeah,
but just like
definitely not.
Willing to do it, offense or defense. Him or Klay Thompson.
See, I knew. That's actually I wanted to know where you were leading that question with. I was just like, I didn't know.
Him or Klay Thompson, but just willing to just do it. Like, I don't know, like Klay's coming back from injury right now. But he had a good game last game, but yeah, like just willing to do whatever it takes to win on the offense or defensive end. Because I see a lot of these players, they're like, I'm gonna go score 50, but I'm not playing no defense.
My other teammates can do that.
The James Harden mentality.
Right. I'm not playing no defense though.
Yeah.
So Giannis is that guy. He's gonna go score 50 and he's gonna get 5 blocks. And he's gonna get
15 boards too.
Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, let's chill. Yeah. That was all. That's all I had on it.
Yeah. RIP Kobe and Gigi.
For real.
And everybody else that was on that helicopter.
Yeah, the other family that was on that helicopter as well.
Yeah, I remember just like that day in general was just, it was a weird ass day. Like I think I think that that was the first day that we started working from home because of COVID or something like that. Or
not me.
Yeah.
That was January 2020, because my first day was like March 12th.
Oh, it was in March. Okay, yeah. Something else weird happened that day.
It was like people were like, we were starting to hear about COVID cases.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, like it was like COVID was just starting to be breaking news. Like, and then and so a police. Oh, I remember. Like a cop came and knocked on my door that day, and was asking about my neighbors or some shit. So yeah, it was just like a bunch of weird shit was happening that day. So it's just, I
was literally alone at the crib, just like Nick Delfino, like the homie, hit me, and he's just like, "Yo, did you see this?" And I was just like,
thought it was fake.
First hour definitely was not thinking it was real, and I was just like, your mind's racing. So all you wanted to do was like, I literally just went to like the Nike factory store. I was just like, let me get some shoes, bro. I was like, anything to like keep my mind off of what's actually happening in this world. You know what I'm saying? I was just like weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, I think I was just chilling at the house, going through Twitter, and then I saw like all the RIP Kobe shit, and I was like, this can't be real.
This can, like you, like deep down in your heart, you're just like you question life for like a second. Like it was just like, is this like actually real? And it just kind of, I guess it speaks to like the impact that he had on people's lives. Like
that's what it.
Go ahead.
I feel like that's what it could be the most inspiring, is that shit, niggas die every day. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, could be anybody.
What are you doing right now?
For sure.
That's what Kobe was about. He's like, what am I doing right now?
Absolutely.
To be the best.
It makes you reflect. It makes you take a harder look at your own life. It was, and it was like, you asked yourself, like you wished for the world that this was not true, but now that it is true, it almost came like it grounded me that day, just to be like, this is as lovely as your life can be, can end tomorrow. And you have to, like, whatever's going through your life, you could be looking at it, in a negative way, in a positive way. You can always, it's short. It's like the longest and the shortest thing we have. So we just have to, take it one day at a time. Lead it with like, the most inspiration that we possibly can. Like,
I never understood that statement that life is short and that's really all we have.
It's because it goes by quickly. It's just like, that's what I hear from people who are older. It's just like, when they look back, it's like, this is the fastest thing that could have, like, when you look back on your childhood, like, how fast did it go? Like, it was the longest thing in the world in the moment.
That's what I'm saying.
But like as time goes on, do you notice like with every year, every year feels faster?
I don't know. I think that's a matter of perspective.
Isn't it?
Maybe, but
I think it depends on the person.
Because the thing is, for every year we live, it's always a smaller percentage of our lives.
I think I think life seems faster once you get into a routine.
Yeah, that too.
You stop challenging yourself. I think life gets faster.
Absolutely. So maybe our takeaway here is live a life where you don't have routine.
Full of surprises.
I don't know exactly. It's just like,
or just when you're challenging yourself, challenging your beliefs,
you still need structure and organization in your life to some extent, but you still to challenge yourself, to learn, to grow. Like that's like truly the beauty of life.
Yeah,
it truly is.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad we got to leave it like, it's solemn, but it still felt, okay, it's positive-ish.
That nigga was crazy. That nigga was amazing. Because no matter, like, he passed away, but it's like he's like Jesus. Like Jesus only lived 33 years. But that nigga was crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. Putting up numbers.
Putting up numbers.
Man. All right. Well, I think I'm down to leave it there if you guys are. I'm glad we got this in for this week. Giving the fans what they want, bro. This was not gonna happen. This almost did not happen.
Yep.
So, shout out to y'all, bro.
We fuck with y'all.
We do fuck with y'all. We absolutely do. All right, man. If that's it, I'm down to catch y'all next week, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. Y'all be smooth, be safe.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Have a good weekend, y'all.
Peace.
Go Niners.